Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Friday, December 19th. I'm Grant Olson. Here's some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Wenatchee School District is set to begin a modernization project of the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center next month. Economic Development Commissioners for Chelan County still plan a vote Tuesday in installing a tax-increment financing district in the Malaga area. A chance for rain and snow continues this weekend with cooler temperatures on the way next week with possible snow in the forecast. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. Douglas County Sheriff Kevin Morris announced this month he will retire from office next year. Today, his second in command says he's running for the top job. Tyler Cale has been the undersheriff of Douglas County for 7 years, acting as the department's chief in Morris's absence and managing other leadership duties. Cale is also fire chief for Douglas County Fire District 5, based in his hometown of Mansfield. Morris, who's 52 years old, plans to retire effective March 1st. Cale says he will ask Douglas County Commissioners to appoint him to fill the unexpired term that runs through December. Cale says Morris is endorsing his run for sheriff alongside past Douglas County sheriffs, including Harvey Jesdahl and Dan LaRoche. Cale will run for office as a Republican. The 2026 election is scheduled for November 3rd. The Wenatchee School District is set to begin a modernization project of the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center next month. The district says the $14.5 million project is funded by a state grant and will update existing facilities and expand popular programs with more space and industry standard equipment. The school, located in Old Station, is an educational option for students around the area and offers hands-on training in career fields like healthcare, culinary arts, fire science, law enforcement, and more. The updates include a dedicated stair tower for fire science, a demonstration kitchen for culinary arts, and modern classrooms and lab spaces for new programs like dental assisting. The modernization is expected to be complete next December. Front Street in downtown Leavenworth is lit up once again. Last week, the city of Leavenworth experienced a days-long power outage after windstorms and flooding down trees and power lines. The damage from the storm caused the city to put a pause on the Village of Lights, which is one of Leavenworth's most popular tourist attractions, for one weekend as the Chelan County PUD worked to restore power to the area. The city says while downtown is ready for visitors, residential neighborhoods and other areas are still working on cleanup efforts. Waterfront parks and trails remain closed due to flooding, and parking restrictions are in effect on select city roadways to assist with traffic flow. The Washington Department of Transportation began repair work on Highway 2 Stevens Pass on Thursday. The highway was closed between mileposts 35 to 85 between Coles Corner and Index on December 10th due to multiple washouts and mudslides. The following day, the closure was extended to include Tumwater Canyon on the east side of the pass at milepost 99, the outskirts of Leavenworth. The stretch between Skycomish and Leavenworth remains closed. WashDOT says the emergency contract with Hearst Construction covers the road between mileposts 58 and 70 over the summit of Stevens Pass, and emergency repairs include roadway stabilization, debris removal, and drainage repairs. There is no estimated time for reopening. Emergency repairs in Tumwater Canyon and east of Skycomish are in development. When we come back, the East Wenatchee City Council swore in 2 new members and 1 returning representative this week. And it took almost 3 days before the Chelan County PUD was able to restore electricity to most customers after last week's powerful rain and windstorms. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Order ready for Susan?
During the holiday rush, those might be the best words you can hear all week. At Abby's, you get a night off from cooking, a place to gather with family, and easy holiday catering that everybody loves. For legendary pizza and hospitality, visit Abby's.com. Aloha and Melikaliki Maka from Abby's. End your year with a tropical twist. Our big Hawaiian pizza at a legendary holiday price. Plus, earn $5, $10, $20 or more in free pizza with our holiday gift card offer. Abby's, a legendary holiday pizza tradition.
Economic Development Commissioners for Chelan County still plan a vote Tuesday on installing a tax increment financing district in the Malaga area. Officials for Chelan County and other tax-supported agencies have spoken out against the measure, which would have set aside future growth in property tax revenue to pay for infrastructure upgrades inside the 3,300-acre TIF district. Those improvements aim to attract new business and industry to the area, already home to Microsoft data centers under development. The three elected Port of Chelan County commissioners are scheduled to take a vote at the regular meeting of the Chelan Douglas Port Authority that's held at the Confluence Technology Center. A public comment period will be held prior to the vote for anyone attending in person or online. The East Wenatchee City Council swore in 2 new members and 1 returning representative this week. On Tuesday, Paul Harrison, who was newly elected in a contested race, took the oath of office. He was joined by Ettore Castellente, appointed to the council last year to fill a vacancy. Castellente ran to retain the seat in the November election with no candidates opposing him. Likewise, veteran council member Matthew Hepner was unopposed in his race and took an oath for his 3rd term. The new council officially begins its work January 1st. It was less than 3 days before the Chelan County PUD was able to restore electricity to most customers after last week's powerful rain and windstorms. But internet fiber service has been a longer wait in some places. In the Leavenworth area today, about 85 customers are back on the power grid, but without access to fiber. The PUD says it's working to restore all those lost connections, but it's an intricate process that takes longer than electrical restoration. In places where the connection is active, but internet service remains a problem, customers should contact their online service providers. Coming up next, a 2-county nonprofit has some new resources to study the need for child care in the community of Waterville. We'll tell you more coming up in tonight's feature story. It looks like we're in for some active weather this weekend and as we head into Christmas. I'll have your local weather details coming up, followed by Eric Grantstrom with all the day's sports action as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues after these messages.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
There's no place like home, because home
is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
When flooding hit Serve Wenatchee, their office in Fresh Hope Market were devastated. But their mission to help prevent homelessness in this valley hasn't stopped, and neither will we. I'm Todd McLaughlin, General Manager at Apple Valley Honda. Now through the end of the year, we're donating $25 to Serve Wenatchee every time someone takes a test drive. And if you happen to buy a vehicle, we'll give an additional $100 in your name. Because when our neighbors are in need, this community steps up, and we're proud to be part of that.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
A two-county nonprofit has some new resources to study the need for childcare in the community of Waterville and perhaps help serve that need a little better. Chelan Douglas Together for Youth earned a $68,000 grant through the State Department of Commerce, which was privately underwritten by the Balmer Group and the Bezos Family Foundation. They'll use it to study the death of childcare service in Waterville and recommend ways to address it. In tonight's feature story, the executive director of Together for Youth, Pete Tagan, came by our studios to talk about the endowment with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins.
There are maybe not enough facilities in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, but there's no facilities, no licensed child care facilities in Waterville. And so as we talk to the community and different partners, and they're saying, well, you know, one of the challenges we see in participating in family or parenting programs that we try to help implement in the community is we don't have anywhere to take our kids when we're doing those programs. So, you know, that's part of what I've grown to really understand much more acutely over the last year and a half is that, you know, some of the challenges are similar, but how we address those challenges might vary depending on the location.
To be clear, you're not a child care provider, you're not opening daycare centers, but you are interested in what child care is available for kids because that affects the way youth develop in your community. Exactly. And I mean, there's a number of really high quality licensed child care providers in Wenatchee Valley, from, you know, your infant to toddler care, which Chelan Douglas Child Services Association is a good example of that. They provide child care for, you know, infants to, you know, preschool age. There's, you know, the YMCA has after school and before school care program that provide child care services and learning services to youth that are at school aged. There's a whole bunch of other examples of organizations and agencies doing similar work, so I don't want to just highlight those two. But in Waterville, what we know is that those services don't exist. The next closest licensed provider are in Orondo, which are great, you know, providers, but it is a bit of a drive for families in Waterville. Right, for sure. And Waterville is the target for this $68,000 child care partnership grant. Mm-hmm. That's where you want to pour your resources in. So now with this grant in hand from Department of Commerce, what steps do you expect to take in that town first? So for the last several months, we've been doing the first part of the project, which is a needs assessment. It's, you know, really understand the landscape, what's happening in Waterville, what are parents saying they need, how many kids are we talking about, what sort of economics are we talking about in terms of what can parents afford to pay, to really understand, like, from a parent's perspective. We're also talking with a number of community groups, like the PTO, for example,
to understand sort of in a focus group setting what's going on and what they're seeing. And then we're also doing a number of interviews, both with folks locally and then also sort of the more expanded Chelan and Douglas County area as well, to really understand what's going on in Waterville. The other element of it, other than just understanding the need, is to understand what opportunities would people like to see. Like what if money, resources, time wasn't a barrier, like what would they like to see in terms of childcare? Additionally, like what obstacles do they see? So we can really identify like what the community's priorities potentially would be, in addition to what the challenges might be present.
Do you know how many kids there are in Waterville in this study area that could be helped by any advances, any findings that you might come forward with in childcare?
I don't have a solid number now.
You will
that's something we're working on, and we're trying to, we can use some census data and information and sort of normative discussions about what parents are saying they would need. A couple years ago, the school opened up a transitional kindergarten program that's been hugely successful up there, from my understanding. That's been providing that 4 and 5 year old program to kids, as to prepare them to get ready to go into kindergarten, at where they need to be. So based on that, when opportunities present themselves, the community takes advantages and realizes them. So I feel like there is a tremendous opportunity, and there has been really good buy-in from the community as well.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had an excellent Friday and saw some sunshine, at least for a lot of the day today. It's just nice to see that blue sky, and then some clouds rolled in. And this is what it looked like this afternoon from our Tumwater Tower camera, looking down at the beautiful town of Leavenworth. And you can see some scattered snowflakes falling, and also in the upper elevations around Leavenworth. And that trend will continue into the weekend and even into our Christmas week. Here we go with our forecast. Saturday, some partly cloudy skies. We could see a chance for a rain-snow mix here in the Wenatchee area. High temperatures are going to be very consistent throughout these 5 days in the upper 30s to about 40 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, once again, a chance for a rain-snow mix. Monday, the same thing. I think a little better chance that we'll see rain and snow on Monday. Tuesday, once again, some lowland rain and snow, although I think here in Wenatchee will pretty much remain cloudy before a bigger system moves in for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which we'll get to in a second. But unofficially here in the Wenatchee area today, high temperature 45, a little warmer than the Weather Service thought today. We'll take it. 32, our normal high for this time of year. And our record, we weren't too far away from it, 49 degrees set in 2004. It was 32 this morning, 8 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 24 degrees, and our low record 4 below set in 1984. We added another 8/100ths of an inch of precipitation to our total, which now gets us to 6.54 inches for the year, just under 3/4 of an inch below where we should be for this time of year. Sunrise 7:44, and it's set this afternoon at 4:12. Let's get you into the weekend now, and your Saturday temperatures, a lot like today, maybe just a touch cooler. 44 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 40 here in the Wenatchee Valley, 39 in Entiat and Chelan, 38 in Leavenworth, and 39 the high temperature tomorrow in Cashmere. Taking a look at tonight, we expect mostly cloudy skies. It's from this area of low pressure bringing those clouds into Washington State. Most of the rain and snow will be west of the Cascades, even though we'll see about a 30% chance of a rain-snow mix. Low temperatures chilly in the upper 20s. And then as we kick off our weekend, Saturday, mostly cloudy skies, a pretty strong southwesterly flow moving our way, and we could catch some of that Cascade moisture on Saturday. High temperatures around 40 with a 40% chance of precipitation. Sunday, a little better chance of the wet stuff as this area of low pressure really starts to develop. We'll see a 60% chance for a rain-snow mix on Sunday, maybe even more more snow, cooler temperatures, highs in the mid to upper 30s, and that will continue into Monday. Morning rain and snow showers giving way to just some cascade snow in the afternoon, mostly cloudy in the afternoon on Monday for us, with high temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. For your Tuesday, things get a little bit quieter, just cloudy skies, high temperature briefly moves into the inland northwest. Just a lot of clouds on our Tuesday, so a good travel day if you are traveling on Tuesday, with high temperatures a little bit warmer, around 40 degrees. And then that next system moves right over the top of us on Christmas Eve. Mostly cloudy skies. There you have it, a 70% chance that we will see a rain-snow mix with high temperatures in the upper 30s. And much the same then for Christmas Day on Thursday. We will see cloudy skies, a 70% chance once again for a rain-snow mix throughout the area. I think a little better chance for snow up around Omak, Brewster, even Pateros. High temperatures on Christmas Day, once again above normal in the upper 30s. All right, time for your 7-day forecast now, brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. Tonight, 29 degrees overnight, a 40% chance for a rain-snow mix on Saturday, and 40 degrees. And then a couple of cooler days for Sunday and Monday. A good chance for rain mixed with snow Sunday, and 37 as I mentioned. 40% Monday. A break from the weather on Tuesday with just cloudy skies and 40 degrees. And then for Christmas Eve Wednesday and also Christmas Day, looks like a good chance that we will see some rain mixed with snow. We're hoping maybe for more of a snow mix Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, with high temperatures both days in the upper 30s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
Happy Finally Friday. We're here at Cashmere High School getting ready for a big matchup tonight in SCAC play between the Bulldogs and the Natchez Valley Rangers. And there's this little retirement thing. We're going to tell you more about that coming up. What about that Seahawks game last night? There's a lot of people that tuned out, me included. I went over to the Kraken when the Seahawks were down 30-14 with about 10 minutes to go in the ball game. I thought, well, it's not going to happen. It did happen. It started with a 56-yard punt return by Rashid Shaheed, and that really spurred things on. Seahawks defense made a stop. The Sam Darnold found a way to throw not interceptions, and the Seahawks were able to come all the way back, tie it on a strange play with a 2-point conversion that wasn't, and then it was. It bounced off a helmet, went into the end zone, and the Seahawks would send it into overtime. The Rams got the ball. They go down the field. They score. Seahawks get the ball. They go down the field. They score. A wild game, and Sam Darnold says it wasn't pretty, but he's happy to get the W.
I didn't think we played our best football. I certainly didn't play my best football. We got a lot of work to do there, but at the end of the day, we won. And, that the team in that locker room, all the guys in that locker room, we work so hard for moments like this. Obviously, like I said, we got a lot of work to do, and we're going to continue to push and get better. But those guys in the locker room deserve a win like that.
Shaheed said that they found something looking at film of the Rams that they thought they might be able to pull off that punt return that made the big difference last night.
Based off the field position, we knew we were going to be able to get a return. We've been focused on that left return, field return all week. We knew that they had kind of a weak point with their special teams, and we were able to circle the punt team and make a big play.
Coach Mike McDonald wanted to thank the fans for not giving up when things looked pretty dour in that fourth quarter.
With all the adversity we're dealing with throughout the game, they didn't leave us. Not a seat was empty, given all the circumstance, and they stuck with us, and our team could feel it, and it was awesome. I mean, and just talking about our football team, just so proud of our group. I mean, this is who we are. We set out to show that, to prove to ourselves who we were as a team. Obviously, there's a lot that did not go our way today. Both good job by the Rams. Some of the stuff that we got to, obviously clean up on our end. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I'll tell you what, the resiliency the relentlessness is there.
So Seattle improves to 12-3. They take over first place from the Rams in the NFC West and now have secured a playoff spot. The rest of the NFC coming up this weekend. Arizona Cardinals are on the road Sunday. They will play at 1:05 on Fox. San Francisco plays at Indianapolis. That'll be on Monday Night Football on ESPN. Well, the Seattle Kraken found yet another way not to finish a game last night in Calgary. Seattle held a 2-1 lead but couldn't hold on as the Flames came back for a 4-2 victory, handing the Kraken their fourth straight defeat. Chandler Stevenson and Capo Kakko scored for Seattle. The defense was absent as Calgary had 45 shots on goal on Joey Decord. Kraken continue on the road Saturday. They'll be at San Jose. That's a 7 o'clock game. That'll be on Prime Video and Kong TV. Women's college basketball last night. UC Santa Barbara beat Eastern Washington 89-63. Coming up today, Washington State was on the road at Pennsylvania. Earlier today, Gonzaga visiting Missouri State on ESPN+. Number 22, Washington traveling to Stanford tonight to take on the Cardinal. That'll be at 7 o'clock on the ACC Extra Network. Eastern heads to Cal State Bakersfield tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That'll be on ESPN+. Sunday finds Washington at Pacific at 1 on ESPN+. Gonzaga visits UC Riverside at 2 o'clock, also on the Plus. Men's basketball tonight. Washington faces Seattle University in the Battle for Seattle at Climate Pledge Arena. That tips at 8:30 on ESPN2. Tomorrow, Eastern visits Utah at 4 on ESPN+. Number 7, Gonzaga takes on Oregon Sunday at 3 in the Moda Center in Portland. That's on the Peacock Network. Couple of busy days of prep basketball kicks off tonight. Moses Lake girls host University at 5:30, while Ephrata hosts Quincy in a Battle of the Basin. Omak is hosting Lakeside 9 Mile Falls, and Pateros welcomes Cross Point Christian. It's Chelan visiting Cascade at 5:45. Cashmere hosting its home opener against Natchez Valley right here at 5:45. We'll have that live on the NCWLIFE channel. Also, Tenasket takes on Colville at 6, while Soap Lake visits Enia. Coming up for the girls tomorrow, Pateros faces Nia Bay in Waterville at 11:30 in the morning. Omak hosts Kettle Falls at 2:30, while Oroville visits Bridgeport. Liberty Bell travels to Jenkins Chewelah at 3. Ephrata visits Sela at 3:30, while Quincy hosts Othello. Cashmere is on the road at Royal tomorrow. That game will tip at 3:45. Waterville Mansfield welcomes Garfield Palouse. That'll be at 4 o'clock. Tenasket takes on Manson at 4:30. Boys schedule gets underway at 5 o'clock tonight as Waterville Mansfield hosts Thorpe. Eastmont visits Woodinville at 6:30. Nia Bay faces Moses Lake Christian in Waterville at 6:30. Moses Lake hosts University at 7, while Quincy visits Ephrata. Omak hosts Lakeside 9 Mile Falls, and Cross Point Christian visits Pateros. Chelan is visiting Cascade at 7:15, while Cashmere and Natchez will get underway at 7:15 as well. We'll have that live here on the NCWLIFE channel. Also tonight, it is Colville traveling to Tenasket at 7:30, while Manson is facing Coopville at the Chelan Community Gym. Coming up tomorrow, Nia Bay at Lake Roosevelt in Waterville at 10. Omak hosts Kettle Falls at 4, while Oroville plays at Bridgeport. Liberty Bell visits Jenkins Chewelah at 4:30. Sela hosts Ephrata at 5, while Quincy hosts Othello. Cashmere visits Royal at 5:15. Tenasket takes on Manson at 6 o'clock. Of course, tonight is the night for the big tilt between Cashmere and Natchez Valley. We also will have live coverage during the halftime of the boys' game for the induction ceremony of Haley Van List, number 11, that will be retired here tonight. Haley will also join us on the air live here on the NCWLIFE channel. In Cashmere, I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for this Friday edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great weekend.